Hey, what is up guys? My name is James and welcome to another edition of the Cura Files. Today I want to share with you what is the best support method to use for a given situation or a given model, because there are so many different ways to use the support method. Some models may require more support than others. So let's get started with this video and see what type of methods are available for certain supports. This is a replacement fan for the CR10S Pro that I created. I have two versions, one without the nub and one with the nub. This is the one with the nub. If you replace your CR10S Pro with a micro Swiss hot end, this area right here is going to be a little bit higher than the stock fan. That's why it's going to give you clearance from the bed. If you need this replacement fan, look in the description below. I'm going to show you what happens when you press everywhere. You see there's a gap inside right here. Any place where there's an overhang is going to actually create a support. And as you can see inside, it created the support. However, you do not want the support inside this area. And for the most part, the surface area is so small that you're not going to have any problems with the bridging. If you do start to have problems with it drooping or whatnot, just increase your cooling fan a little bit and you should have no problems with the bridging. Now, if you go here, and we're going to create a support only with the touching build plate. So it removed the support material on the inside of this fan duct. Only the top areas that are touching the build plate is where the support material was formed. So that's a regular support, but I want to show you this feature in Cura that's in the experimental area. If you go right here, this is the regular support and this is the experimental features that Cura has, and you can see there is a tree support. So let's see what it does when we click on the tree support. So if you take a look at the tree support, generally it makes a support not in the entire area, but it tries to support it as like a tree with branches. And if you look on the bottom, it does support all the material on the top surface right here that's touching the build plate. However, you can tell that it is not coming down straight. It's like almost like the tree branches or stumps. And there is a branch or a stump that's coming out of the inside and goes to support on the top layer or top overhang using a branch. So there is a support that goes across instead of using the bottom area, bottom surface, and providing a support on top of the overhang. So the tree support is an interesting support. Using it as a preview can give you some insights on where you might have some problems with the overhangs that may need support. You can see that where the nub is going to be a cleaner surface because you're not going to have to clean the nub itself. And this is one of my favorite supports because you are able to see by doing the preview where your initial overhangs are and where you might have problems with the support. So let's just go back and check again what happens. I turned off the experimental, and this is the regular support. Slice. See, the regular support just created the support around the surrounding nub just everywhere. This is a 100 by 100 by 100 millimeter cube. If you take a look on the bottom, there is a 4 millimeter gap that's right here. I just want to show you there is a 4mm gap, and there is a hole that's inside right here. And I'm just going to slice this right now so I can show you. Let's preview this. Bring this model down. And if you take a look right here, there is a support material that goes inside the circle. Now, if the circle is big, it's easy to take out the support material. But if it's small, like this support material is going to be very difficult to take out. Most likely, you're going to have to use a drill to drill out this support material. That is why you don't want this support material to go in all the way inside the actual hole. Now, what I'm going to do is go to prepare, and I am going to create a support blocker. For the size, we're going to scale it, and I'm going to scale it to 8mm. And I'm going to show you why. There is a same size hole on top as on the bottom, so I'm just going to bring it up top so I can show you. Let's go to the top view right here, and this cube actually encompasses the circumference of the hole. So this is going to be a -45, +45, and then I am going to put a 0. So it's going to drop it to the bottom. And here is the support blocker right here, indicated right here. What I'm going to do is select the support blocker, and then I'm going to create this per model setting, and I'm going to go all the way right here to don't support the overlaps, and I'm going to select that. You can tell that it's selected by, it has a little bit of a more darker highlight right here, and you see the line is actually darker. So I'm going to do that, and I need this support blocker for all the corners of where the hole is. I am going to multiply the selected model 3 times, and it says here multiplying and placing objects. And you can see right here the support material was made, and I'm just going to move this across like so, and this is going to be a +45, +45, and 0. But what I really want to do is move this support blocker inside the hole, and I know this height distance is 4mm, so I want to move it up 5mm. So the support material is going to go up 1mm into that hole, selected, and then we'll do a 5. And if you go look on the bottom, you can see that the support material, or the support blocker, actually went up 1mm into the hole. And for the rest of the hole, it's not going to create any support material. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. So 5. And then you can see that it's inside. And I'm going to do that for the rest of the holes. This is going to be a -45, -45, and then a 5. So it went into this corner, and this one's going to be a +45, -45, and a 5. So again, it went into this corner right here. So all these 4 corners have support blockers on. We'll go right here just to verify, and you can see that it is still selected. So it says don't support overlaps. So when I slice this right now and preview this, I'll move this up. You can see that it comes in about 1 millimeter into the hole itself, and then it will not provide any more support material inside. So for the rest of the inside, the hole is actually clear and free. So I'm just going to save this model. Save, save. This is the Ender 3 extruder knob Groot by Richie Rich. And let's go here to the generate support. First we'll do the build plate, touching the build plate. And let's preview this. It looks pretty good when you do the touching the build plate. Now one of the problems you're going to have with this baby Groot, if you do print it, is this left arm. You're going to find that if you print it like this without a support on the left arm, you're going to have this part at the elbow disconnected. If you take a look right here, there's a support that comes to the right arm, and this will be supported. The right arm will be supported, but this left arm will not be supported because right here is where they have the part of the knob, and there is no support for this area. So this is going to be an issue when you print out this baby Groot. Actually, for the right arm, for some reason, the angle and the overhang, you don't really need a support material. You can print it without the support material, but for the left arm, you're going to need support. And what I'm going to do is go here, go everywhere, and we'll slice it to see what happens. So you can see that everywhere is supported, and you do not need the support on top of the head. This overhang is going to be at a not at a complete 90-degree angle, and it is a small surface area, so you're going to be able to print it without the support. But let's take a look at the bottom. You can see that the inside hole is going to be filled all the way with the support if I print it this way. So what I want to do is click on the baby Groot, and I am going to click on the support blocker and create a support blocker. Let's go here, scale it, and I'm just going to increase the size, and then let's just move it back a little bit. So this way, and let's just check what happens. Actually, what I can do is scale it this way, and then I'm just going to move it in a little bit. And then move it to the right a little bit. So I want this elbow part of the arm supported. So let's go ahead, slice. This is going to be support placement everywhere. But what I'm going to do is go here, select here, and don't support the overlaps. I'm going to click on that. And then we'll slice it to see what happens. And we'll preview this. So as you can see, there is no support on the top or the front torso and abdomen, which is going to make the model look much cleaner since you don't have to remove the support in the front, the rear, the head. So everything is going to be much cleaner. You're going to have some support here, which is going to allow you to have a fully connected arm. You're not going to be looking at the underside too much, so this is going to be pretty much clean. And here's a little spot. You can do the custom supports and remove this area. I just want to move along with this quickly. I just want to do it a little roughly so I can just move along with the video. But as you can see also here inside, since there is no support, it's going to be a very clean knob. It's going to fit on the Ender extruder much more cleanly, much more well. It's going to have a better fit because it is going to be clean. You don't have to remove any of the support. If you have any type of support material around the surface or the area, you're going to have a difficult time fitting the part together. But overall, this is going to give you all the support that you need on the fingers, around the knob, again around the fingers. Right here is going to remove the support inside this area, and anywhere around the torso, anywhere around the abdomen, the head, you're not going to see any type of supports. What you can do also is, normally with this model, you don't really need the support completely like this. You probably can actually break it right here. Oops, you can probably break it right here. Add another support blocker, and let's go to prepare again, and just make it a little bit smaller, and then you can probably remove some of the support in this area. It just has to be supported right here or along the joint. Same thing with the right arm. Let's just slice it, and this is going to give you a much cleaner model. So again, right here, there's not going to be support. Again, you want to move it slightly a little bit to the right. It's a little bit of a tedious task. That's why I'm not placing it on this video. When you do yours, you're going to fine tune everything, move it to where it needs to be exactly. Again, this area right here probably does not need the support right here up to here. Okay, this is the Apollo astronaut by Charlie 1982. If you take a look, this designer actually placed the astronaut in perfectly balanced so that you didn't have to use a lot of supports. But let's assume that this was an upright position figure, and the last support that I'm going to show is going to be a custom support. We're going to go to the marketplace, and then we're going to go to the plugins, and then we're going to go to the custom supports, and then we're going to install this by Krasimir Stefanov. We're going to click on agree. It says installed. We're going to quit Cura, and then we're going to reload Cura. And then you can see right here the custom supports has been added. And if you take a look at this model, the designer has actually placed supports in a perfectly balanced way so that it can be printed with the fewest support material. But let's assume that this was not in this orientation, but like this, standing straight up. And so I'm going to click on this model and click on the custom supports, and as you can see, there are a couple of different icons. You can use a cube or a cylinder, and you can also choose if you want to use a wider base. Also, you can automatically drop that custom support. So we're going to click on the custom support, and we're going to use the cube, and we can drop it right here. We're going to scale it, and you see that the model was actually elevated to the full distance of the support material. And you don't really want to do that. What you want to do is, if you have this problem, let me go back. You want to configure Cura and make sure this automatically drop models to the build plate is turned off. Click close, and once that happens, if you scale it, you can see that it just goes to the bottom of the build plate and it does not make a real big difference. So we can use this, and this time instead of using a cube, let's use a cylinder for this side. And again, we will scale it and then move it this way. This is a great support for the appendages, for like arms, hands. This model is also going to probably need a support on the backpack, but I wanted to show you that this custom support is a very good support for things like appendages of the arm, so you can place them in designated areas of your choosing without having to support the whole model. So I think this model will give you a better idea why the custom support is very effective with appendages. Generate a support, and then we'll do touching the build plate. Preview. You can see that it supports the entire overhang, and then it is going to require 408 grams with 2 days and 3 hours of printing. So if you go to the model and we'll go to prepare again, we'll change it to a custom support, and we'll just put it right here on the end. I will scale it a little bit. And just move it across. Like so. And basically I will put in another custom support right here. Scale it a little bit. Based on the model, the plastic, and your settings for the fans, etc., you may not need a full range of supports on the model. You may just need one here and one here, depending on how well the bridging is for that particular plastic and settings. And if you want to use the custom supports, this generate support needs to be disabled. So make sure you have any supports from Cura disabled before you slice the custom supports. So we're going to slice the custom support, and we'll preview. It'll generate the supports in this area and this area, and again we saved up on about 100 grams of filament, and it cut down the print time to about a half a day. This is why this custom support is so effective, especially based on your filament and the certain settings. If you are able to have certain amount or range of bridging, then you can cut down on the support material and the print time. So if it was like a figurine with uneven surfaces, you would not be able to just rotate the model in this fashion and print it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of the Cura Files. Hope you found it informative and helpful. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below on what type of video you would like to see next. Share this video, give it a like, and please subscribe to my channel. Till next time, I'm signing off. Thanks.